You ever notice how you keep going back to the same show, watching the same scenes, repeating the same dialogue almost word for word, and somehow it still feels comforting every single time? Like slipping into a room where nothing changes and nothing demands anything from you. And you've probably wondered if it means you're stuck, or uninteresting, or just avoiding real life. But psychology says something completely different. Because this habit isn't laziness, it's your brain trying to give you stability in a world that never stops shifting. What you're really drawn to is familiarity, and research shows that familiar patterns calm the nervous system by reducing cognitive load, which means your brain isn't working as hard to predict what comes next. And that creates a sense of psychological safety that new content simply cannot offer, especially when you're mentally overloaded, emotionally drained, or carrying more stress than you talk about. Every time you rewatch a show, your mind isn't zoning out, it's taking a breath. Because predictable storylines lower the activation of your amygdala, the part of the brain that detects threats. And that's why you feel this soothing sense of, I know what's coming. And it also explains why you often rewatch your comfort show right after a rough day or during times of uncertainty, because repetition creates emotional grounding, even if you don't consciously realize it. Your attachment to certain scenes or characters isn't childish either. It's neurobiologically normal, because your brain links emotional memories to safe environments. And when a show once helped you cope, laugh, or escape, it became what psychologists call a regulation anchor, a mental safe space that stabilizes your mood, which is why no matter how many options you have, something inside you quietly pulls you back to the one thing that never overwhelms you. If you feel guilty for rewatching instead of starting something new, that's because society glorifies constant novelty, but your brain doesn't. Because new content demands attention, learning, and emotional investment. And when you're tired or overstimulated, this becomes what psychology calls decision fatigue. So reaching for something familiar isn't avoiding stimulation, it's choosing energy conservation, which is one of the most intelligent self-regulation patterns humans naturally develop. And when you find yourself repeating the same show during stressful periods, it's not regression, it's comfort-driven repetition. The same mechanism children use with favorite toys or stories, except now you do it with scenes that feel warm or predictable. And instead of judging yourself for escaping into them, you should recognize what's actually happening, because your brain is choosing the emotional path with the lowest friction, a sign of self-preservation rather than avoidance. So, if you ever felt guilty, embarrassed, or confused about why you keep returning to the same show, remember this: there is nothing wrong with you. You're not boring, you're not lazy, you're not avoiding growth. You're simply trying to find stability in a world that constantly demands more from you than you can comfortably give. And rewatching something predictable is one of the most natural ways the mind calms itself without even asking your permission. If this explains something you've always felt but never knew how to describe, subscribe and stay around, because there's a lot more about your mind that you've never been told but absolutely deserve to understand.